Okay, so a few days ago, we made a video talking about the Vancouver Canucks and Brock Boeser, and how there were apparently 9 teams linked to this dude. David Pagnotta in the fourth period not backing down from any of the Brock Boeser destinations. Well, it turns out we have even more destinations to dive into because, man oh man, have reports come out from different beats around the NHL that weren't amongst the 9 that we had discussed 2 days ago. So with that in mind, let's dive into the newest in Brock Boeser signing destinations, starting with a report made on rg.org. This article was published by James Murphy. It'll be linked in the description. The Boston Bruins are among multiple teams set to pursue Brock Boeser, according to a source. This article goes out there and talks about Brock. It introduces the fact that the 28-year-old right winger is apparently going to be done with the Canucks. It appears that his career in Vancouver's finished. While many expect the 28-year-old right winger to head home to his native Minnesota and sign with the Wild on July 1st, numerous teams are expected to make substantial offers to lure him away. RG has learned that, in addition to the Minnesota Wild, LA Kings, Mammoth, Red Wings, and Canadiens, the Boston Bruins are planning a significant push to sign the pending UFA, who scored 25 goals and 25 assists for the Canucks this past year. Bruh. The Habs want Boeser too? Ay. That's not even something we had talked about this entire time. The Habs and the Wings and the Mammoth and the Kings. Oh my gosh, the cadence. From the Habs to the Wings to the Mammoth to the Kings. Where's my crown? That's my bling. Always drama when I ring. Yeah, ay. Whoa. Okay, let's go back over to the piece here. Apparently, the Habs, the Red Wings, the Kings, the Mammoth, and the Minnesota Wild are all going to plan a significant push for Brock Boeser, and the Bruins are also in there too. The Bruins went hard for him last summer, and even before that, an NHL source confirmed to RG. They tried again at the NHL trade deadline, but then decided to be sellers instead. They were looking at him again, but then things went south fast, and they were sellers. The Bruins like Boeser a lot and will go after him, but they are one of many. Now, this is really intriguing to me. More so than the Montreal angle, not because of Brock and, what he could do with a guy like Elias Lindholm, for example, but because whenever I think of Brock Boeser and the Boston Bruins, there's a very particular link in my mind mentally that I establish between these two parties, and it's not one that you might immediately jump to. Because when I think of the Boston Bruins and I think of Brock Boeser, I think about the 2015 NHL Draft, when the Vancouver Canucks selected Brock Boeser with the 23rd overall pick. Shortly after, the Boston Bruins had multiple first-round picks in a row. Everybody loves to crap on the Boston Bruins because they selected with the 13th, 14th, and 15th overall picks Jakub Zboril, Jake DeBrusk, and Zach Senyshyn. Just mere picks before Matthew Barzal, Kyle Connor, Thomas Chabot, Brock Boeser, Travis Konechny, and others went in the draft. Now, if you're paying attention to the names that were taken by Boston, Jake DeBrusk was fine, but Senyshyn was never an NHL player of a significant capacity. Neither was Zboril. Everybody loves to crap on Boston and say, hey, what if they just selected Barzal, Connor, and Boeser? What if they just went that route? They had a chance to change their franchise for good here, and even though they ended up making the Stanley Cup Finals 4 years after this draft, there still was a missed opportunity here. And so now, turns out the Boston Bruins want to get Boeser this time. And after trying to trade for him in prior seasons, it seems like now they are going to pitch up a really big dollar amount offer to try to get Brock from Vancouver. This article then even says that it would be kind of ironic if the Bruins went after Brock Boeser after all this time. The The Bruins have made it clear that if they can't find another top 6 center, they want a winger who can drive a line and score, the source pointed out. I think they see Boeser as that guy, and that's why I know they've already let it be known they're interested. Now pause. I'm sorry, Boston. Brock can't drive his own line. You really need to give him a center that can do that for him. Now, if he does go over to Boston and he ends up doing exactly that, if he drives a line with Elias Lindholm or whatever, then I'll eat my hat. I'll say congratulations to Boeser and I'll wish him good luck. But for now, based off of what we had seen the past few years, Brock Boeser is not a line driver, unfortunately. It's been one of the main criticisms on him from Vancouver analysts, media, and social media that Brock can't drive his own line. Maybe when you play him with Miller, he's great, but other than that, it's not really the best. Now, let's shift gears a little bit here from talking about Boston and Montreal out of all teams. Yeah, imagine getting that guy in the top 6 in Montreal. I know it's already been talked about that the Habs want to get top 6 help via a trade, but that doesn't seem to be a viable option at this point since nobody's willing to sell. So maybe Kent Hughes will be forced to use his money in free agency and maybe sign a guy like Brock Boeser to a pretty meaningful deal. It wouldn't be the first time that a Vancouver Canucks right-wing sniper who is slow and who can score some pretty nice goals goes over to Montreal for a little bit longer term. Cough, cough, Tyler Toffoli, holy guacamole. Let's dive into another post. This was made by Sheng Peng on San Jose Hockey Now. This article is paywalled, but it turns out that the San Jose Sharks are also really interested in Brock Boeser. This was posted onto the San Jose Sharks subreddit, and the scoop here is that the Sharks are very interested in Brock Boeser. The Sharks, according to a source, are very interested in Boeser. I'm not sure if San Jose is on top of Boeser's wish list. What's going to be a common theme this summer, it's going to be hard to sell in-demand free agents on a last-place team. That said, I don't think the Sharks are off Boeser's list. They're just not at the top of it. Would it not be so funny if Tyler Toffoli and Brock Boeser found themselves on the same team one more time, lighting it up with Macklin Celebrini against Vancouver for the next 5 years? Ay, that sounds like a total possibility now that you label it out like that. This is torture for Vancouver Canucks fans, isn't it? But Brock, going over to a team like San Jose, hey, if you want money, you want term, they can give you that. And if the Sharks go all in balls to the wall with Marner too. Imagine if they're able to get just whomever it is that they want with all their cap space. They go after Marchand. They go after Marner. They go after Boeser. They keep Celebrini and they get Michael Misa too. This team could be stacked quickly. And it all depends on how they use that cap space. There are a number of guys that could band together and pull this San Jose Sharks team out of the trenches and say, here, now we're in wildcard contention mode. We're going to be hovering around this, and then we'll make the wildcard in 2027, and then we're going to continue being a playoff force for the next few years. There is a possibility that happens. And I honestly think that if Brock Boeser is playing with a Macklin Celebrini of all people, you're probably finding a lot of chemistry there. If it's Smith, Celebrini, Boeser on a line? Whew, my gosh, that sounds like a really good way to bolster up that offense quickly. Of course, having Brock labeled with all these former Vancouver guys and Elias Lindholm and Tyler Toffoli, that's just all the more amusing to me. Montreal is also super amusing to me too. I wasn't really projecting them to being interested in Brock, but the article on rg.org said so I guess that idea is out there in the open now. So with all this Brock Boeser talk, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about these new Boeser updates? We had 9 teams last time that were linked to Brock Boeser, not including Montreal, Detroit, or Boston, or San Jose. But now, these 4 teams have been added. There are 13 teams that are interested in signing Brock Boeser. Oh, the Utah Mammoth weren't included last time either. There are 14 teams. Ay, this guy's not going to come back to Vancouver, isn't he? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about all this Brock Boeser discourse. I hope you enjoyed this British Roll sign on. And bye.